Hello, Assalamualaikum. Welcome back to my class English Year 4 with Miss Ayu. Today we are at Module 4 Celebration Lesson 7. Let's read 2. Please be ready with your student book, page 46-47. Let's start. Learning objective for today's lesson. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to first, understand and enjoy the story. Second, identify important part of the story. Third, identify the cause of certain actions. And fourth, use their imagination to create an ending to the story. Success criteria for today's lesson. At the end of the class, I will be able to rearrange the pictures of the story in the correct order. I can identify 5 true or false statements about the story correctly. I can complete 2 sentences to show the cause, and I can create an ending to the story using pictures as guidance. Now, this is your student book, page 46 and 47. Before we start listening to the recording of this story, let's read the instruction first. Number 1. Read and write the best title for the story. Listen, read, and check your answers. Okay, we are going to start with the vocabulary section, and then we are going to listen to the recording of the story. You can shadow read while listening. After listening, you have to pick which one is the best title for this story. Okay, the option has been provided for you here. A. Omar's Day by the River. B. The Wishing Fish. Or C. The Fish and the Sheep. Now let's start.
Let's read 2. Modules 3 and 4. Vocabulary. Fishing rod. Line. Pull. Think. Wool. 1. Read and tick the best title for the story. Listen, read and check your answers.
Omar lived with his family on a small farm. His family worked hard, but he didn't like working. One morning, Omar went to the river with his new fishing rod. He waited and waited. Then something pulled on the line. He pulled it out of the water.
Ugh, what a big fish,
he said. But the fish wasn't an ordinary fish. Omar caught a wishing fish.
Please let me go and I can make your wish come true,
said the wishing fish.
What do you want?
wow.
Said Omar, and he thought about his wish.
Make all the sheep go away so I never have to work again.
Okay.
Said the wishing fish. And with that, it jumped into the water. The next day, it was very hot. It didn't rain for many days, and many sheep died because there wasn't any water. Omar's father said,
"We've got no more wool to sell. We haven't got any money."
Omar was very sad.
This is my fault.
He said,
I have to go catch the wishing fish again.
Okay, we've just listened to the story. Now, let's review the story, okay? So, Omar lived with his family on a small farm. His family worked hard, but he didn't like working. Okay, Omar ni dia tinggal dengan keluarga dia dalam ladang yang kecil, small farm. His family worked hard. Keluarga dia bekerja keras, but he didn't like working. Omar ni dia tak suka bekerja. So one morning, Omar went to the river with his new fishing rod. Okay, he waited and waited, then something pulled on the line. He pulled it out of the water. Okay, satu pagi dia pergi ke sungai untuk memancing dengan joran dia yang baru. So dia tunggu, tiba-tiba ada sesuatu yang tarik dia punya joran ataupun batang pancing tu. Dia kata, oh, what a big fish. Susah dia nak tarik ya, ikan tu besar. Okay, but the fish wasn't an ordinary fish. Apa maksud perkataan but the fish wasn't an ordinary fish? Ordinary maksud dia biasa. Wasn't an ordinary maksudnya adalah bukanlah ikan biasa. Omar caught a wishing fish. Please, please let me go and I can make your wish come true, said the wishing fish. Okay, what do you want? Okay, bila Omar tangkap ikan tu merayu untuk dilepaskan dan dia kata dia boleh tunaikan hajat Omar. Okay, what do you want? Apa yang kamu nak? Lepas tu Omar kata, wow, said Omar, and he thought about his wish. Omar pun fikir apa yang dia nak. Make all the sheep go away so I never have to work again. So dia berhajat supaya semua kambing-kambing tu tak ada. Okay, supaya dia tak perlu bekerja lagi. Okay, said the wishing fish, and with that it jumped into the water. Jadi bila dia kata okay, dan wishing fish tu pun kembali semula masuk ke dalam sungai. The next day it was very hot. It didn't rain for many days and many sheep died because there wasn't any water. Okay, hari esoknya panas dan dah berhari-hari tak hujan dan banyak kambing biri-biri yang mati disebabkan tak ada air. Omar's father said, we've got no more wool to sell. We haven't got any money. Okay, ayah Omar kata, kita dah tak ada lagi bulu biri-biri untuk dijual. Jadi kita tak ada duit. So Omar was very sad. Omar pun sedih. This is my fault, he said. Ini adalah salah saya. I have to go catch the wishing fish again. Aku akan pergi tangkap wishing fish semula. Okay, so daripada ketiga-tiga ni, which one do you think is the best title for this? Okay, mana yang title terbaik untuk cerita ni? Okay, is it A, Omar Day by the river, B, the wishing fish, and C, the fish and the sheep? Okay, so the best title is B, the wishing fish. Okay, we've just listened to the story and we have picked the title for the story. Now, let's look at activity 2. Read again and put the pictures in the correct order. Okay, baca dan susun semula gambar ini mengikut urutan yang betul. Okay, berdasarkan cerita. So, look at A, B, C, and D. We have 5 seconds to complete this exercise. The answer is number 1 is B, number 2 C, number 3 D, and number 4 A. Did you get all correct? Good job. Now, let's look at activity 3. Read again and write T for true or F for false. Now, let's look at every statement. Number 1. The wishing fish wasn't big. Is it true or false? Number 2. Omar didn't want to work. True or false? Number 3. The wishing fish jumped into the water. True or false? Number 4. The next day it was cold. True or false? Number 5. The sheep had no water to drink. True or false? And the last one, Omar didn't want to catch the wishing fish. True or false? Now you have 10 seconds to complete this exercise. Now let's look at the answers. Okay, the answer for this activity. 1 is false, 2 true, 3 true, number 4 false, number 5 true, number 6 false. Moving on to activity 4. Complete the sentences to show the cause. Number 1. Many sheep died because... Now, look at the story again. Why? Why did the sheep die? Okay, and complete these sentences. This sentence and complete this sentence. Many sheep die because. Number 2, Omar's family hasn't got any money because. Why? Omar's family hasn't got any money. And now look at the story again. You have 5 seconds to answer this question. Time's up. Now let's look at the answers. Okay, for number 1, many sheep die because there wasn't any water. Number 2, Omar's family hasn't got any money because they got no more wool to sell. Now, let's look at activity 5. Choose the best summary of the extract from the wishing fish. A. Omar went to the river. He had a fishing rod. His fishing rod was new, but he caught only one fish. The next day, it was very hot. Omar was very sad. He didn't like hot weather. He wanted to go to the river. He wanted to catch some fish. Now, let's look at B. Omar caught a wishing fish. It could make his wish come true. Omar made a wish and his father's sheep died. His family had no more wool to sell. They had no money. Omar was sad. He wanted to find the wishing fish. Which one is the best summary of the story that we just read? Have you picked your answer? Now let's look at the answer. The answer is B, yes. Now, this is the most important activity for today. Okay, look at number 7. Talk to your friend. What happened next? Look at the picture or use your own idea. Now, let's look at the picture first. This picture. Okay, what can you see in the picture? Okay, can you see that the river is now dry? There is no water in the river. Yes, and can you see what happened here? Start with Omar went to the river. And then he saw what? And what happened here? Okay, then you look at the second page. Okay, you can see that Omar cried so sadly that his tears has formed a puddle. And then the tears went into the river. And suddenly, the water filled up the river and came out the wishing fish. Yes. And then, what do you think Omar said to the wishing fish? What did he say to the wishing fish? I think that he asked for the wishing fish to give his sheep back. And then what do you think the wishing fish said back to Omar? Now let's look at the third picture. Here you can see that the weather is back to normal. We can see green fields, meaning that the rain is back, and then we can also see a lot of sheep around Omar's and his father. So I think that the wishing fish have granted Omar's wish again. And then his sheep start to live again, and then his family can sell wool and have money to live. So, from what I just said now, can you write the ending to this story? Talk with your friend or your siblings or your father and mother and try to tell them what do you think is the ending of this story. that is all for today's lesson. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that you get to learn something from my class today. And see you again on the next class. Bye!